Chopper candy lover. Oh my god! Yo, yo, yo.
The scary-looking person with a paramecia devil. The stamina freak with a mythical Zoan devil fruit. Hockey monster without a devil fruit ability. One Piece has officially ended, with Luffy achieving his dream of becoming the Pirate King. 2050. 2051, 2 pieces.
Why? I don't wanna.
Chapter 1, Next Generations. Gear 2nd. Gear 3rd. Gear 4th. Gear 5th. Should I plunder their treasure? Kamosari. When things are going according to plan, but then you hear a Gomu Gomu no. Then. Now. Girls with time machine. I am your granddaughter. Really? Boys with time machine. Watch your step. Thanks. Be shipwright. Be one of the weirdest straw hats. Have your art partially overshadowed by Robin and Usopp. Super stereotypical American. Get your nuts squished. Turn into giant robot. Land.
Oh, you're getting enough money.
These are the 21 weirdest devil fruits in One Piece. Like this one, which can turn its user into a caterpillar. Yes, you heard it right. Poida was a member of the Whitebeard Pirates.
Kiss me, Bobby, kiss.
Who had eaten a Zoan-type devil fruit that allowed him to turn into a caterpillar. We've seen Poida only in his hybrid form, where he was able to retain his human head and hands, but grew caterpillar-like sections all over his chest. The next devil fruit gives the user absolutely nothing, and on top of that, it takes away their ability to swim. This is the Hito Hito no Mi, the human fruit. If you eat it, you turn into a human. Now, think about it. Most characters in One Piece are already human, so if one of them ate this fruit, nothing would change, except they'd lose the ability to swim. Thankfully, a reindeer ate it instead. And that's how we end up with our lovable talking doctor, Tony Chopper. Honestly, I'd still take the Hito Hito no Mi over the next devil fruit because that one literally turns the user into mucus. This is the Beta Beta no Mi, a paramecia-type devil fruit that allows its user to control and create mucus. Utterly disgusting, if you ask me. I swear to God, if I had this fruit, I would have never used it. Anyway, this walking jump scare from the Don Quixote pirates has eaten the Beta Beta no Mi and is quite skilled at using it. If you thought mucus fruit was bad, just wait, it actually gets worse. Enter the Numa Numa no Mi, a Logia-type devil fruit that allows its users to transform into a literal swamp. Ew! Imagine turning into a swamp right in front of your huzz. I can already feel my aura flatlining just thinking about it. Picture this, you eat a decently strong devil fruit, but instead of gaining epic powers, you end up with diarrhea so bad, you're destroying your toilet every few minutes. The real ones already know I'm talking about. Magellan's Doku Doku no Mi, an insanely powerful paramecia-type fruit that lets the user secrete deadly venom from their body. But here's the catch, it comes with a very real side effect of severe diarrhea. Apparently, it's the body's natural way of flushing out the toxins the user produces. Functional? Sure. Dignified? Absolutely not. Earlier in the video, we mentioned how Chopper's devil fruit would have been a total waste if a human ate it. But I was so wrong because the next devil fruit can turn its user into a goddamn fly. The Mushi Mushi no no Mi model Suzumebachi gives its user the ability to transform into a hornet. Imagine unlocking your devil fruit powers, ready to change the world, and then you're getting casually squashed by some random human who sat on you. Peak L. I swear to God, there can't be a funnier method than this to kick the bucket. Now comes the most disgusting yet goofy devil fruit of this video. The Jake no Mi is a paramecia type devil fruit that allows its user to turn into a flesh jacket, only to be worn by another person. They take control of the person's body and get access to their abilities, like increased strength. They can still move and talk while in jacket form, which is diabolical to witness. What makes this fruit absolute trash is that you need to have the consent of the wearer to take control over their body. Anyways, imagine a devil fruit that is so stupid that the animators ditched it from animating it in the anime. I'm talking about the Shari no Mi, which is a paramecia type devil fruit that allows its user to rotate their body parts like a wheel. Except for this ability, the Shari no Mi does not grant any additional powers to its user. Needless to say, the devil fruit was quickly forgotten after the Enies lobby arc. It appeared in the manga, but in the anime, the animators replaced this fruit's power with a normal sword. At number 9, we have the Kuku no Mi. This devil fruit lets the user turn anything into food, which sounds cool at first, but then you realize it's utterly pointless. It won't help you in battle, and that's already a major red flag. To make matters worse, the food this devil fruit creates tastes disgusting. So not only is it useless, it's also straight up gross. Basically, it offers the user zero value. Another devil fruit that offers almost zero value in battle is the Fuku no Mi, eaten by Kinemon. This fruit lets the user create clothing or accessories out of leaves or stones just by visualizing them. That's it. No attack power, no defense tricks, just fashion magic. Sure, it's pretty useless in a fight, but you gotta admit, the ability to spawn some sick drip on the fly is kinda cool. Instant cosplay, anyone? But the next devil fruit? Yeah, it's not cool at all. It literally turns the user into a human washing machine. But before it does, can you please take a moment to subscribe as we are bringing you the dopest One Piece content on YouTube. Thanks. Anyway, the Woshu no Mi is a paramecia type devil fruit that lets the user wash and hang out to dry people and objects as if they were clothes. It's eaten by the marine legend Suru. Honestly, guys, I have no idea how strong this devil fruit is, but I can confidently say it's one of the weirdest ones in One Piece. Or maybe I'm wrong, because the next devil fruit honestly feels like it doesn't even belong in One Piece. Daifuku's Hoya no Mi lets him summon a halberd-wielding genie that fights for him. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's basically a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stand in disguise. The genie even needs to stay close to Daifuku to fight effectively, just like how stands usually operate in JoJo. I had to include Daifuku on this list purely because his devil fruit feels way more JoJo-like than One Piece-like. Not just Daifuku, Cracker from Big Mom Pirates also has a devil fruit that's honestly pretty odd. If you ignore this insane haki and next-level creativity, Cracker's devil fruit ability is to create and manipulate biscuits. That's it. On paper, it sounds completely ridiculous, but you've got to give it a Cracker. He turned what sounded like a joke fruit into a serious threat. That fight against Luffy, epic. He held his own like an absolute beast. Mad respect for the guy for making biscuits terrifying. Doflamingo deserves way more respect when you really think about it. On the surface, his devil fruit just lets him create and manipulate strings, but what he does with it is on a completely different level. The sheer mastery he has over his powers is insane. We've all seen how he can control people like puppets, create clones of himself, and manipulate his strings in unbelievably creative ways. That's some next level skill, bro. It's one of the many reasons why Dolphy is hands down my favorite character in One Piece. Listen, this has to be hands down the worst devil fruit in all of One Piece. It's so bad that 90% of the fan base has probably erased it from memory. The Berry no Mi is a paramecia type fruit eaten by, well, this guy. And what does it do? It lets the user split their body into a bunch of berry-like balls. Yep, it turns them into a grape human. Basically, it's like Buggy's Bara no Mi, but way more useless. And here's the kicker. Unlike Buggy, who can freely resemble himself, even if some parts go missing, this fruit doesn't offer that luxury. If you lose a few of your berries mid-fight, you're just stuck like that until you find them again. Good luck rolling around looking for your arm. I was this close to including Buggy's fruit on this list, but after discovering this monstrosity, I suddenly have a whole new respect for our bombastic clown. Imagine having a devil fruit that turns you into a tailor. Yep, you heard that right. The Nui no Mi is a paramecia type devil fruit that gives the user the ability to stitch things together. That's it. Living things, inanimate objects. Doesn't matter. It's all fair game for some magical sewing. Now, this power kinda works for Leo because he's tiny, fast, and can zip around like a needle in a sewing machine. But if a normal normal-sized person ate this fruit, bro, it would be nothing more than a glorified tailor ability. I swear to God, you'd be better off opening a boutique than going into battle. Guys, if I'm being real, the Nagi Nagi no Mi eaten by Corazon is honestly one of the worst devil fruits in One Piece. The value it gives you in return for losing your ability to swim, barely worth it. This fruit lets the user silence sound. More specifically, it creates a soundproof field where no sound can escape or enter. So yeah, it's basically like giving everyone around you noise-canceling headphones. That's it. No offensive power, no flashy tricks, just silencing the noise. Great for sneaking around. Yeah, sure, but in a world full of laser beams, magma punches, and giant dinosaurs, kinda mid. Apu's Auto no Mi has granted him the weirdest looking power in One Piece. I mean, this dude can turn his body parts into musical instruments, like turning his teeth into a piano or his arm into a trumpet. It's honestly diabolical if you ask me. His powers are cool and all, but purely from an aesthetic viewpoint. I would never eat this devil fruit. I can't imagine walking around with a trumpet for an arm or a guitar for a leg. That's just a recipe for disaster. The same goes for Charlotte's smoothies, Shibo no Mi, which lets her dehydrate her opponents or inanimate objects by wringing all the inner fluids from their bodies. And the weird part, she can absorb that liquid by drinking it. Seriously, that just sounds hella gross. I swear the idea of slurping up someone's inner fluids like that is enough to make me lose my lunch. This woman's devil fruit has powers that can be nullified not just by water, but also by wind. The Awa no Mi is a paramecia type devil fruit that allows its user to produce bubbles that make their opponent's body so slippery they can't function, which sounds potentially useful. However, the catch is that both water and wind can immediately nullify these powers. Honestly, pretty stupid powers if you ask me. I mean, imagine having the ability to make people slippery, but a gust of wind or a splash of water just completely shuts you down. Talk about a huge flaw for a devil fruit. Imagine eating a devil fruit that offers only a single perk, smooth skin. The Sube no Mi is a paramecia type devil fruit eaten by Alvida. This devil fruit gives the user really slippery and smooth skin, so anything that touches it just slides right off. Its other effect, weight loss. Any excess fat slips right off the body. If you're trying to lose weight, the smooth fruit might sound pretty appealing. Other than that, minor physical attacks also slide right off the user, making them harder to hurt in basic combat. But let's be real here, at this point in One Piece, pretty much everyone and their grandma uses armament haki. So this devil fruit's defensive powers don't really hold up against the heavy hitters. That said, if you ask me, this is the only devil fruit I'd want to eat from that list. Imagine eating all the tasty food you want and still staying shredded. That's the best superpower ever. Have you ever wondered what would happen if the Straw Hats ended up with their worst possible match of devil fruits? I swear, things would have gotten really horrific for every single one of them. Click on this video to find.
The battery explode.
That.
Wait. Battery. It's turned on. The green light is turned on. The red light is off. Boom. Blue light.
The dog says.
It's getting hot. The battery is getting hot. It's gonna explode.
What's the exploder? The rocket or the?
No, it's catching on fire. It's catching on fire.
The battery.
What planet?
It got on fire.
Is it a building?
No, this is
a rocket.
Can I try?
explode.
I wanna try. I wanna try my own science experiment.
I did not get it. Is it a head that explodes? A mountain that explodes? A rocket? Or a planet? Or anything?
No, it's
what?
it's a battery.
A battery?
The battery explode.
What kind of battery? Oh, no.
You made clouds. Why am I inhaling the Vicks air?
Huh?
I'm inhaling the Vicks air. It tastes. Did you know that you can plant seeds in that game? Wait, first you need to get the dirt. See? You need the soil. Yeah, now that's mixing with soil, acid, IV. Okay, it's already growing. I want more seed. Oh, some bamboo. You put that in water.
20
You
plus
put
na.
that in. Put that in water.
Init?
And I'll give it some water. It just makes it worse.
Good day for a date. Bad day for kate. Baka dandruff yan. Mag Head and Shoulders every day. Prevent dandruff and kate from coming back, so you're up to 100% dandruff-free every day. Head and Shoulders. Nanood naman siya. Winashing na, kinuskus mo pa? Switch to New Ariel Power Liquid. 15 minutes lang. Bilis-bilis ang matcha. No more kuskus sa washing machine. 70 lang per wash ang New Ariel Liquid.
In this video, I'm giving each straw hat the worst possible devil fruit based on their biggest weaknesses. I've looked at every crew member's flaws and picked out devil fruits that make them even worse
A battery.
at what they do best. From Zorro's horrible sense of direction to Luffy losing his rubber abilities, it's going to be a hilarious ride. We'll start with Zorro and work our way through each straw hat. And trust me, the last three will have you laughing out loud, so you definitely won't want to miss it. First up, Zorro. Alright, we all know Zorro's biggest weakness, his awful sense of direction. Now, let's take that to a whole new level. Zorro's already terrible with directions, right? But what if we threw in a whole new challenge for him? Instead of just getting lost on land, let's send him down. We're giving him the Suisui no Mi, the swim fruit. This fruit lets you swim through solid objects like they're water. Sounds cool, right? But imagine how much worse it makes Zorro's sense of direction. Not only would he be wandering around more lost than ever, but if he disappeared, the Straw Hats would need digging machines to track him down. This devil fruit would make everything so much worse for Zorro and the crew. And honestly, it's kind of hilarious to think about. Number 2, Sanji. So, Sanji, right? He's all about those crazy, high-speed leg attacks. His kicks are his bread and butter, and his hands, he hardly even uses them in battle. So when we were thinking about his weakness, we thought, what if we mess with the core strength of his fighting style? His legs. That's where the Bane no Mi comes in. This is the fruit Bellamy has, and it lets you turn your legs into springs. Now, while that's pretty cool for Bellamy, for Sanji, that would be a nightmare. Think about it. If Sanji's legs turned into springs, it would completely mess with his balance, timing, and the precision of his kicks. His fluid, high-speed attacks would lose all their power and control. He'd be bouncing all over the place, totally out of rhythm. His entire fighting style would fall apart. But hey, let's just stop there for a moment. Sanji's biggest weakness is women, right? So why not give him the clear fruit? I swear, Bro would either be in the hospital all the time or kick the bucket because of excessive nosebleeds from all the distractions. It'd be chaos. Number 3, Frankie. Frankie's case was distinct, and it took some effort to find a suitable devil fruit for him that could give him some tough time. Imagine Frankie with kids Jiki no Mi powers. It wouldn't be total chaos, but it'd still cause some serious problems. With all his metal components, from his limbs to his Frankie Shogun, the magnetic force would start to mess with his movements. His tech could get disrupted, his gadgets might become a little harder to control, and suddenly, Frankie's high-tech advantages might turn into a liability. It wouldn't be the total destruction of his system, but it'd definitely make things a lot more tricky for him. Now let's take it to the next level. NL's Goro no Mi. I know it sounds wild, but just think about it for a second. Frankie, armed with the power of lightning, his body's a cyborg, full of electrical circuits and machinery. If he got hit with one solid bolt of lightning, he'd be toast. His systems would short-circuit in an instant. His creations, fried. His Frankie Shogun, a total wreck. The whole thing would collapse like a house of cards, leaving Frankie powerless and vulnerable. A single zap, and it's game over. Number 4, Usopp. Picture Usopp, the master of long-range combat, the guy who can hit any target from miles away with his exceptional shooting skills. But when it comes to direct face-to-face fighting, he's a straight-up scaredy cat. So what do? We give him a devil fruit that forces him to get physically involved in battle, something he's definitely not used to. At first, we thought about the Riki Riki no Mi, the strength fruit currently eaten by Jesus Burgess. It grants the user abnormal physical strength, just raw power, that's it. And with this, Usopp would have no choice but to get up close and fight with his strength. No more relying on his range or tricks, just pure muscle and physical confrontation. Sounds rough, right? But then we thought, wait a second, Jesus Burgess, who eats the Riki Riki no Mi, uses it to throw massive objects into the air as projectiles. And knowing Usopp's creativity and sharpshooting precision, you just know he'd find a way to use that. Imagine Usopp using his marksmanship to control these giant projectiles, throwing them with perfect accuracy. That could actually be really handy for him. So we thought, let's give him a devil fruit with a similar idea, but dialed back a bit. Enter the Ushi Ushi no Mi model bison. The bison fruit, which is currently eaten by Dalton. This fruit gives the user enhanced physical strength and durability, transforming them into a bison or a bison-human hybrid. Now, this fruit is a real challenge for Usopp. It forces him to engage physically in combat, something he's absolutely terrified of. He can't rely on his clever tricks or long-range shots. He's going to have to get in there, close and personal, using his new strength. 4 done, 5 more to go. And the next one is Nami, whose devil fruit is going to be hella interesting. So why don't you subscribe? Please do it so that we can continue to provide you with amazing One Piece content. Thanks. Number 5, Nami. Nami and Usopp, 2 peas in a pod when it comes to being coward, right? So we thought, why not give them similar devil fruits? But let's make it more creative.
Little baby.
Hello, Sean. Hello,
If you put
Wash natin ang sustansya sa pito. Make sustansya yum gravy made with Alaska milk.
Make it more creative. At first, we considered giving Nami the Kage Kage no Mi, the Shadow fruit, which is currently eaten by Gecko Moria. This fruit lets the user control and manipulate shadow. Sounds cool, right? But here's the twist. Nami would absolutely freak out using it. She'd have to deal with creepy, unnatural shadows, and we all know how much she hates anything supernatural.
what are those?
So this fruit would terrify her, and she'd probably avoid using it at all costs. But then we realized Nami's already dealing with Zeus. A literal storm cloud that's probably supernatural too. So while the Kage Kage no Mi might freak her out at first, we're pretty sure she'd eventually get used to it. It's not that big of a leap for her. Then it hit us. Why not give Nami a devil fruit that she'd
Sa likod, no?
refused to use out of pure disgust. Something she'd want nothing to do with, no matter how serious the situation. Enter the Numa no Mi, the swamp fruit, which turns the user into a literal swamp. Currently eaten by Caribou. Now, picture Nami having to use that power. She would absolutely hate it. The idea of turning into a disgusting, oozing swamp would make her cringe, and she'd refuse to use it unless she had no other choice. It's the perfect fit for Nami. She'd hold off using it as long as possible, but when things get desperate, she'd have no choice but to make it work. You know, that moment when survival kicks in and she has to swallow her disgust and use whatever she has to survive? From Nami onto the helmsman of the Straw Hat Pirates, Jinbei. Number 6, Jinbei. Okay, let me break this down. We all know Jinbei is a fishman, right? And he's one of the most skilled users of fishman karate, which relies on water. So no matter what devil fruit he eats, it will cause him serious trouble and restrain him from using fishman karate. Well, not really. The thing is, there's this misconception that all devil fruits are weak against water, but Oda cleared that up in an SBS. He said that only standing water, still water, is a real problem for devil fruit users, not moving water. So that means technically Jinbei could still use water in motion, and with Frankie's tech, he could create some gear to help him keep fighting with water, even when he's not near the ocean. But imagine this. What if we give Jinbei a devil fruit that straight up can't stand any water at all? I'm talking about the Suna no Mi, or the sand fruit, which is what Sir Crocodile uses. This fruit, as we know, turns the user into sand, and sand and water don't mix well. So Jinbei would be in a real tough spot here, because with the Suna no Mi, the more water he's around, the weaker he'd become. I mean, that's a complete disaster for someone who thrives in water, especially since sand can't interact with it the way other devil fruits might. Number 7, Brook. Now let's talk about Brook, our beloved skeletal musician. We know very little about him when he was human, so let's focus on the fact that he's, well, a skeleton now. And with that in mind, we've got to think about the worst devil fruit for him, right? So imagine if Brook ate the Baku Baku no Mi, the Munch Munch fruit, which Wapol used. This devil fruit allows the user to eat anything and turn it into part of their body. Sounds like a cool power, right? I mean, it's a fun idea, being able to chow down on objects, animals, whatever you want, and just transform your body with it. But here's the problem for Brook. He has no organs, no skin, nothing. He's just bone. The first requirement of the Baku Baku no Mi is that you need to eat something to make use of it. And Brook, he can't eat anything because, well, he doesn't have a mouth. He doesn't have any digestive system. He doesn't even have skin to chew with. So even if he were to eat an object, it wouldn't go anywhere because there's literally no way for him to process it. On top of that, imagine how useless it would be if Brook's body couldn't absorb anything. He wouldn't even be able to transform or use the fruit's power. It's basically a complete disaster for him. A devil fruit that relies on eating? Totally pointless for someone who's already a skeleton. Poor Brook would be stuck with a fruit that does nothing for him. At number 8, Robin. Okay, so here's the deal. Figuring out a devil fruit for Robin was no easy task. We went back and forth trying to come up with something that felt right for her character. And then, after some serious brainstorming, we hit on something pretty intense. The Hee no Mi, the ice fruit. Now, think about this for a second. You remember how Aokiji froze the entire Clover Island, right? And what happened with Jaguar de Sol? The whole situation definitely left a deep scar in Robin's memory. Something so traumatic that it is always lurking in her mind. With the Hee no Mi, Robin could, in a sense, relive her past, forcing herself back into those horrible moments whenever she uses the power. It's a constant reminder of the pain she's been through, which adds this whole new layer of complexity to her character. It's not just about the strength or the versatility of her devil fruit anymore. It's about the emotional burden that comes with it. The moment she decides to unleash her powers, she's also kind of opening a door to the past. She might think twice before using it. Number 9, Chopper. We hit a bit of a problem when it comes to Chopper and devil fruits. Aside from his human fruit or any other type that's like actually beneficial to him, most devil fruits just don't make sense to him. I mean, he's a reindeer, right? A super cute reindeer at that. So we thought about it, and the first thing that came to mind was that any devil fruit that's super graphic, like causing harm or something too gruesome, just wouldn't work because, hello, he's a doctor. That's totally against what he stands for. But then we thought a little deeper and realized something. Chopper's cuteness might actually be an advantage here, right? It's kind of hard to be scared of a fluffy little ball of adorableness. And that brings me to a solid point. You know the Soda no Mi? The one Big Mom has? The soul fruit? Yeah, that would be the worst match for Chopper. Why? Well, think about it. This fruit allows you to steal someone's lifespan by making him fear you. The thing is, for it to work, that person needs to be scared of you. And let's face it, no one's going to be scared of Chopper. He's literally a cute reindeer who can turn into a tiny innocent doctor. No one's looking at him and thinking, oh, I'm terrified.
16 hours na lang. Until what?
So yeah, that would be a total mismatch. Now comes the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, number 10, Luffy. So with Luffy, there are tons of devil fruits that just wouldn't work for him. Take Bartholomew's fruit, for example. His devil fruit is all about defense, creating barriers and stuff. And Luffy's all about charging in headfirst and throwing punches. So yeah, defensive fruits, not his style at all. And then there's the brain fruit eaten by Dr. Vegapunk, which lets you store unlimited information in your brain. Now, I don't know about you, but Luffy's kinda... not the sharpest tool in the shed. Like, he's not exactly the type of guy to be memorizing endless facts. He barely remembers the name of half the people he meets, so yeah, definitely not a fit. But wait a minute. What if we gave Luffy Boa Hancock's devil fruit? The love fruit. Hear me out. The love fruit turns people to stone if they fall in love with you, right? And Luffy, let's be real. He's not exactly the most handsome guy around. So if he ate that fruit, who's he gonna turn into stone? The only people who'd be affected are probably Boa Hancock herself. Or maybe Bartholomew, since those two have, like, serious feelings for him. The whole idea of Luffy with the love fruit, that would be hilarious. I swear it would be so ridiculous watching him try to use it and failing miserably. The thought of him just turning into this stone cold flirt, like, he'd probably just be all confused, like, why is everyone turning the stone? It'd be gold, man.
On Caltrate Silver, I made powerful bone formula to help strengthen bones. Bangong Palmolive hair? Kaya yan, thanks to Palmolive Natural.